This is Valley News Live at noon.
We have local breaking news. The date is set for when abortions will become illegal in North Dakota. In a letter to the North Dakota Legislative Council, Attorney General Drew Wrigley says abortion will be outlawed starting July 28th. This after the U.S. Supreme Court reversed Roe v. Wade, setting into motion a 2007 trigger law in North Dakota. The state's ban does include exceptions for rape, incest, and saving the life of the mother. Happening right now, the January 6th committee hearing is underway on Capitol Hill. The subject of today's surprise hearing is still unclear. We do know we'll hear from one of former President Donald Trump's top aides who was a vital witness in the investigation. You can watch the testimony live right now on valleynewslive.com. Overnight, the hail might have woken you up. Take a look at this video a viewer sent to us over by NDSU. Hail was coming down pretty hard. Hopefully this is all we have to worry about today. So let's go to Summer Schnellbach with a quick look at what we're up against today. Summer?
Yeah, thank you so much, JC. I don't think we got any hail at my house over in West Fargo. If we did, I slept through it. But here's another photo that was sent into us. Some P2 marble-sized hail in North Fargo. This was sent in by Skip Anderson, and you can see it just coated the deck. Hopefully those flowers in those flower pots are doing okay. I couldn't get zoomed in quite far enough to get a good look. We do still have some ongoing showers with a front that is passing through. No thunder, no lightning, just some brief passing rain showers, and that'll be the trend for a couple more hours. I do expect those to kind of weaken and fall apart as they continue to move southerly. Fargo is at 68 degrees, 63 right now in Grand Forks. Jamestown at 71. Fergus Falls, one of the warmer spots in the south, at 77. 61 in Bemidji, only 56 cool degrees in Devil's Lake, with those rain showers that just passed through. But today in Fargo, I do think we'll see a couple of sprinkles. JC, I'll time those out and what we can expect for the potential for severe weather tomorrow.
All right, we'll check back with you in just a little bit. Thank you, Summer. We have new information. Officials are now identifying the man who died after a car caught on fire on I-94. The Cass County Sheriff's Office has identified him as 36-year-old Matthew Knight of Greenville, Ohio. That accident happened Sunday morning near Buffalo, North Dakota. First responders pulled the man from the vehicle and began life-saving efforts. Knight was pronounced dead on the scene. Grand Forks police cited a driver after running their car into their own apartment. It happened last night on the south side of town. Police say a 29-year-old driver was correcting their crooked parking when they hit the gas pedal and slammed into their patio door. The car came to a stop about 6 inches inside the apartment. No one was hurt, and the driver was cited for unqualified operator and care required. New at noon, Ulta is changing its policy and paying up for an incident involving a service animal at the Fargo store. The U.S. Attorney's Office for North Dakota says someone with a service animal was told they couldn't come in. According to the settlement, the employee told the customer service animals are not allowed into the store without documentation. Under the Americans with Disabilities Act, there is no requirement for people to show documentation, and the service animal does not have to wear a vest or harness. Ulta has now agreed to adopt a nationwide service animal policy and will pay $1,000 in damages to the Fargo complainant. Authorities are searching for answers after nearly 50 migrants were found dead inside a tractor trailer in Texas yesterday. A city worker discovered the gruesome scene after hearing a cry for help on a remote back road in San Antonio. First responders say 46 people were found dead inside the big rig. The deaths likely heat-related. 4 more later died in the hospital. It was nearly 100 degrees when the bodies were found. More than a dozen migrants, including 4 children, were taken to an area hospital for heat stroke treatment. 3 people were taken into custody, though police say it's unclear if they're connected with the incident. Turning to Missouri and the latest on the deadly train crash there. Dramatic video taken from inside the train shows stunned passengers after 7 of the Amtrak train's cars flipped onto their sides. At least 3 people were killed and more than 40 hurt. With more on what caused the crash, Taylor Johnson with KCTV reports near the scene.
It happened.
A barefoot passenger stepped on glass windows
while attempting to gain their footing inside one of the cars of the Amtrak train that had been tossed on its side.
Train derailment, multiple injuries, one female under the train at this time.
The crash occurred at 12:42 in the afternoon.
We hit a truck. Someone was crossing.
8 cars and 2 locomotives of Amtrak's Southwest Chief Train 4 were carrying at least 207 passengers and 12 crew members from Los Angeles to Chicago.
We were in rural Missouri.
Ron Goulet was a passenger heading to Chicago for a connecting departure.
I felt an impact. The car was turning on its side, and people were flying in all directions.
Officials say the train collided with a dump truck that was stopped at a crossing, killing 1 person in the truck and at least 2 train passengers. Cell phone video from the interior shows passengers scrambling for their belongings after the crash.
When I turned back later, it had been completely crushed. It was kind of terrifying realizing just how close I was to not being here right now.
At least 40 other passengers were injured, several airlifted to area hospitals. Former NTSB chair and CBS News analyst Robert Sumwalt.
Amtrak does now have outward-facing video cameras as well as inward-facing video cameras. They will be able to see the truck and see at what point it enters the tracks.
Amtrak says it fully supports the NTSB's investigation, and they say they're going to have a 16-person team out here today investigating the site of that derailment. But this is the second crash involving an Amtrak train in just the last few days. On Sunday, a train crashed into a car that was carrying 5 people. 3 people were killed and 2 were taken to the hospital. Taylor Johnson, CBS News, Minden, Missouri.
In his latest efforts to drum up funds for Ukraine, Moorhead Air Force veteran Mark Lindquist will hold concerts in Fargo and Ukraine for war relief efforts. The Mark J. Lindquist Big Band Charity Benefit Concert Series is set for July 8th in Fargo. He says he will also host a show in Kharkiv, Ukraine, in an effort to entertain people across the European country. Lindquist says he hopes to offer some solace as the war rages on. The Fargo venue has not yet been set. Coming up at noon, the first case of monkeypox has been detected in Minnesota, and we've got exactly what you need to know. But next, you might have woken up to some hail overnight. Are more storms on the way? We've got weather to plan your day.